Good morning, everyone. How are you doing? This is Amanda. I do hope that you're well. Today is the 21st of December. It's Thursday. We're going to be looking at the solstice energies, and it might get a little bit heavy. So the first thing to say is it might get a little bit heavy. We're going to be looking at shadow aspects for good reason, acknowledging the energies that are around us right now. But if you don't want to listen to that, it's fine. Just switch off. Catch me next time. My energy is a little bit low because I'm fighting off bugs on all sides. John's not particularly well. One of my daughters is now unwell. I'm sort of starting to feel a little bit below par, but fighting it off. And you know, one thing that came to me today is I was thinking, why do people get sick around Christmas and New Year? For me, it's like clockwork, particularly John, bless him, he always gets unwell around this time of year. And I've always put it down to an upgrade type energy coming in. Sometimes when we get a little bit unwell, below par, it's to do with our body, as I said in my last video, needing to release old energies. What are those older energies? They're the crud, basically. They're the shadow aspects that we might have been clinging on to, wanting to take into next year. And Spirit is saying, no, 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 you need a clean slate for 2024, for every year. You're going to have a clear out. And of course, it comes via bodily fluids without putting it too delicately, whether it's an upset stomach, whether it's sickness, whether it's phlegm, catarrh, etc. The body knows how to rid itself of what it needs to rid itself of. So you can do all of your protocols, vitamin C, zinc, amine, metapyrite, crystals, all the rest of it. But you also need to allow your body time and space to do that if it needs to do it. But I was thinking about, this time of year and why do so many people get sick? And you know what Spirit said to me today is it's got an awful lot to do with depletion. Think about nature. We've gone through a whole cycle. We've gone through a whole year. And we're tired. And then, you get to Christmas and there's all the busyness extra on top of what you normally do. The body just has a little moment where it says, I need some time for me. So you need to allow it space to do that. So I'm going to be doing that today and watching a nice Christmas film later. But the other thing I was thinking is that our bodies basically are still catching up. Particularly those of us that do the spiritual path, we're walking through portal after portal after portal. We're trying our best. We're opening up to receive. But yet our physical animal bodies are still very much primed to be hunter-gatherers, and they just need a moment to catch up. So do allow your body time to do that. But equally, I want to look at the energies that are arising, coming out, etc. right now. Now, I called them, and I was referring to the crystal, wasn't I? That I think actually is on my balcony now. I haven't got it to show you. Oh, no, here it is. Greenridge quartz with iron. I talked about it being grubby, in terms of helping us to get rid of all the grubbiness within ourselves or to face it, our thoughts, our feelings, etc. But last night, this feels tied into solstice. I know some of you are watching me summer solstice where it's bright and sunny, although it sounds as though it's not. There's a lot of wetness and a lot of cloud as well in parts of Australia, for example. But hear me out. Winter solstice. I have never known a run-up to it that has felt so dark. And I'm talking about literally dark. We know the nights draw in, but it's as though they're darker than they've ever been. The mornings just have got a rich, dark, velvety blackness to them. And this solstice, which we are now approaching, I am tying in. Somehow it feels as though it's connected into the corridor, which is why I still have this candle burning of Halloween. And I'm not liking the feeling of it, guys. Last night I went to bed and I had a similar experience to when I read on the Brian Koberger case, Idaho 4. Those of you that watched that video, do you remember me saying I had that incident in the night where I woke up and I felt that something, an energy was on my chest? And of course, the chest is the weak area when we are, a virus is trying to get us, or a bug, a germ is in the house. I felt as though there was something here around my chest, but it was energetic. It freaked me out again, to be perfectly honest. And the technique that I use when I feel things like that is I imagine myself out in nature. I'm in a 3-story house, so I'm quite away from the ground. But when my body's going into like anxiety and panic because I can feel something that is not friendly in the room, I imagine myself in nature. I just imagine myself in my garden with my feet on the earth, putting my roots down. And as soon as I do that, it starts to settle. I also did alternate nostril breathing. Might do a video on that, but many of you know what that is, which is breathing in through one nostril and then exhaling through the other. It's a way of helping to balance your body, reduce anxiety. So I did a bit of that. And then I finally went to sleep. But I would like to explore what this energy is now that I felt, because I don't think it was just coming for me. It felt as though, I don't want to put fear out there, but I definitely feel there's a darkness this year. And maybe that's why I was asked to do the Advent work, which is linked into reminding us of the light in the darkness, because some people are getting consumed by it. Some people are feeling it, not knowing what to do with it, how to handle it, what is it. So let's look at it, okay? Let's look at it. Now, this was the deck that I was told to go to today, which is the Deep, Dark and Dangerous Oracle by Stacey DeMarco. In many ways, the name says it all, doesn't it? But we will balance it up also with a Christ Consciousness card at the end. But let's first pull a card from here. Now, before I even pull a card, I noticed that on the bottom of the deck, we have the Shadow card, the Shadow, and it says Depth. It's as though, it's everything that I've been talking about in my recent YouTube videos. It's as though we're being asked to go so much deeper into the grubby parts of ourselves, the parts that we fear, the parts that we're ashamed of. And we need to look at it. And then those of us that have looked at it are having a release, whether that's through the body, whether it's through writing, channeling, anything else. But it can be via the body. So definitely shadow aspects. Some of it is your own, but also shadow in the collective coming up. And those of us that are sensitive and empathic are feeling it very strongly. So definitely up your spiritual protection. Make sure you've got your armour of God on. Make sure you are using, for example, the silver sprays that we sell. There's a silver spiritual protection spray, white sage spray, the silver crown spray. You could use Archangel Michael spray. You could use whatever your techniques are. Just remember to do it more than anything, particularly over the next 24 to 48 hours. Now, I know there are many teachers out there saying solstice is a wonderful time, and of course it is. It's the return of the light. But before we get to that place, it gets very, very dark. And I think that's what I was feeling last night. So, shadow. Let's pull one more card that goes with this, okay? For those of you that are resonating with what I'm saying, let's see where else we are being led to go. So, calling in Archangel Metatron, calling in the energy of Jesus, feeling the energy of Jesus just holding your shoulders, saying, I've got you. We will steer you through this crucible, is what I'm hearing, this crucible. And we've got Anubis, respect, coming through, and Anubis, okay? Now, let me read what the card says. Let me read what the card says. Respect. We also have a storm coming in the UK today called Pia. And Pia, I believe, means righteous. Oh, this is card number 25, and it just says dark. Okay, dark. Pia, the storm Pia. Pia means pious or righteous, but piousness. Look at that energy within yourself. Where are you pious? Where do you think you're better than somebody else? Look at the piousness in our world right now. The people who are just wanting to point, project, not look at their own stuff, you know. It's you that's got the problem, okay? It's that person that's at fault. What about your own faults? What about your own shadow? What about your own darkness? So many not wanting to go there. I would like to think that this storm in the UK is helping to sweep some of that away, and then it will move into Europe. Okay, card number 25. Sorry, I know I sound a bit rough, but I feel much better than I sound. It's just my voice. But of course, I'm a teacher. So when I go through upgrades, then it's always going to be my voice that's affected. Okay, Anubis. It says, take special care and pay attention to detail right now. Respect yourself and others. Take the time to guide someone who needs it. You may not like someone, but you can respect their humanity or even their skills. Isn't that true? You know, we don't have to like everybody. We don't have to like the roles that people have in our world either. From a violet pill perspective, people are playing all sorts of roles to awaken us to the truth, to the light. And, you know, everything serves the light ultimately. So this card is about duality, it's about respect, disrespect, it's about fear and protection. So it says the Egyptian gods can appear a fearsome bunch. To our eyes, perhaps, Anubis with his jackal head looks fearsome, but this is not the truth. While yes, actual jackals do move among the graveyards and clear the bodies of the dead, the jackal god takes great care of the tender new souls who have passed into the afterlife. When you travel down into the womb-like environment of many tombs in ancient Egypt, the gods seem to live and breathe in the artful storytelling upon the earthen walls. Among them always is the dark, majestic jackal, signifying the presence of Anubis, god of the underworld and mummification. After preparing the bodies by guiding the embalmer's hands, Anubis travels side by side with the dead to have their souls weighed against Mat. So how much more into the bowels of the void can we get than the process of embalming and mummification? It says death is something that will happen to all of us sooner or later. The fear of losing our life, of death itself, is something very human. Yet Anubis, with his calm and respectful presence, may be there to shepherd our souls across the divide. To honour him, we can offer the usual stones, frankincense and gold. That ties into yesterday's video on the Magi. However, leaving a respectful gift on a stranger's grave may be a better way to show the heart of the god himself. That's a nice idea. So what's coming up then maybe is the fear of death. It could be the fear of physical death, you know, your own death, or the death of somebody you love around you. But I also think it's the death of the old way. It's the death of the old earth. There's a truth that people will cling on to the old and they will protect it, however dysfunctional, however toxic, however wrong it is, because it's all they know. They will cling on to that. You know, the Matrix films, they will hang on to the old Matrix for love and money, and they will do everything to protect it because it's all they know. Because many people can't see beyond the void. They can't see beyond death. They can't see beyond what is falling away. Hopefully we can, as light workers. That's our purpose, to do exactly that. I'm going to carry on. Let's pull one card now from the Dark Mirror deck by Laura Sava. These solstice energies. Revenge. Revenge, respect. Where are we wanting revenge on others? Where are we wanting revenge on what has been done to us? Take this into the collective. It's probably very easy to see the baddies in the midst and we want our revenge. But revenge probably isn't going to help the ascension process at all. So let's see what the card says about revenge. This is card number 23. Okay. Oh, looking at the wrong card. It says, there is no white night, but there can be a black storm woven by fallen angels. What if there was a place where there is no more time for words, No more sense to bargain or negotiate. No more survival instinct to accept, fear, or ponder. It's a place we can reach at the limit of our abuse, with the last spark of our dignity surging up as a powerful black flame. We cry, we hurt, and we strike to destroy. We destroy not for ourselves because we are gone. We destroy for the fairness of the world. We destroy because if there is no sweet justice, there can at least be cruel revenge. We destroy for those who came earlier, for those who would have come later. We destroy, and as we destroy, we forsake ourselves. There is no going back, because coming back from that requires much more than force. It says it's time to take arms against a sea of troubles and by opposing, end them. I don't know. What I'm tuning into here is something collective. It feels as though something is coming. I think many of us can feel it. Something is brewing, a strike, an event. And it's that I was feeling last night on my chest. And as light workers, what we have to do is we have to bat it away with love, with light, to not be fearful of it, to not be fearful of any eventuality. There are people out for revenge, and they will stop at nothing to get that, to get what they seek as justice. But without fair, balanced justice, which comes in the afterlife, it's God's responsibility to do that, not man's, beyond a certain point in terms of the legal system. We can get ourselves into all sorts of trouble as a species. So, okay, let's end with a card from the Christ Consciousness deck. This revenge cards reminds me very much of, what's it called? Merlin. You know, those of you that watched Merlin with me, was that last year, 2 years ago? I became obsessed with that TV series. But that Black Queen, for want of a better word, you know, that would stop at nothing to get her way, to exact revenge for wrongs seemingly done. We have to learn from the past. We have to heal from the past. We have to move on from the past. Do you know, this is a big jump, what I'm about to say here, from the Dark Queen in Merlin to Michael Bublé. Hear me out. Dari, the CEO. I mentioned his work last video on YouTube. It's funny, yesterday he said, I'm actually interviewing Mr. Christmas tomorrow, i.e. today. And lots of people were saying jokingly, who are you interviewing then? Are you interviewing Jesus? Are you interviewing Father Christmas? Michael Bublé. I mean, Michael Bublé plays for about a month in our house, you know, non-stop till Christmas. So he is Mr. Christmas. I haven't watched all of the interview yet. I'm going to go and do that in a minute. But the bit that I've seen, Michael is talking about, because let's bring this back now into your life, okay, where you may be not necessarily seek revenge, but you can't move on from a pain maybe, or something that was a disappointment to you. The bit of the interview I'm seeing with Michael so far, he's talking about his father's absence when he was younger, and the fact that his father was a fisherman and used to have to go away for like a month at a time. And he is saying that he missed him a lot. He understood why he did it, because they needed food on the plate. And but he talks about getting his father's clothes and smelling them, breathing them in. So imagine a little boy doing that. That is a desolation energy. I'm so lost that I have to breathe in the scent and the aroma of you because you are not here. Whatever the reason is in terms of why he was gone, earning a living for them, he understands that at a rational mind level, but the little boy didn't to a degree. So what Michael has done in this lifetime is when he reached a level of fame whereby he realised that he was about to turn into that man, and it wasn't about putting food on the plate anymore, which was what his father was about. It was about the fact, I've done that. This is just about the next diamond ring or the next watch or the next house. He couldn't justify it to himself. So he's rearranged his whole schedule. He's never away from home very long. He takes his family with him. I suspect the interview, the more that you watch it, will be about him I don't know whether he actually says the words, but as a healer myself, I can very clearly see he identified the wounding within his family. He didn't want to repeat the cycle. And so he's broken that cycle. He has created in his family line a whole new way of being able to do work, to be present for your children without judging the past, without taking revenge on the past. Not that he would, because it comes across very strongly that he loved his father. But I do think it's a really good example of somebody very public who was able to say, no, I'm not playing the game. I'm not just signing up for tour after tour after tour after tour. I'm not just going to keep making you money because it makes you happy and then I get a payoff. I'm going to be there for my family in the way that maybe my father wasn't able to for different reasons. I've broken the cycle. Feel into the energy of that goodness, and that next run on the evolutionary ladder for him, his family, and then the ripples that creates in terms of future generations. Just one little example in his life. Now compare that to this energy, okay, which is just hanging on to a past hurt, hanging on to something that might have been done to us without even understanding maybe the reason behind why it was done, or certainly with regard to parents, not understanding how they were parented, how their parents were parented, the pain, the trauma, the lack of love in the family line that led somebody to become this. You see, you're not born like this. You're not born into this darkness. You're born into light. You're born into love. So I hope that the storm is helping just to sweep away some of these old energies, collectively and personally, where we are able to break the chain. But allow your body to, if you're tuned into what I'm saying here and it's resonating, to have the release it needs to let that go. You know, I've often talked about, not that I go anymore because I don't know anybody who does it around here, but what's it called? Craniosacral therapy. Okay. So we know in craniosacral therapy that the fluid that runs up and down the spine contains the memories, contains the stories, contains what has happened, not just to you in your life, but your grandfather, your great-grandfather. Okay, so if we think about that fluid in the spine, holding that memory, then can you see how spit, blood, phlegm, catarrh holds that memory also? Because it's coming from you. You've created it. It's within your body. Your body is your story, you see. Your body is your story. So allow the process is what I want to say. Allow the process. The death process. Most of us are not about to die in the next couple of days. Some will, and if they are, rest in peace. And there'll be people you know in your life already that are passing. But no, this death process is a big one. This is what I'm picking up. And it's interesting, you know, tracking this back from Halloween. I feel like we're in the corridor still between Halloween and Solstice. Of course, the black magicians amongst us, of which there are many, some of whom are very well hidden, and you may think are actually working for the light, but are not. They're working with the darker energies. They're working to keep us fearing the energy of death, okay? Fearing the energy of what is the other side of the void, of the abyss, of the unknown. If you're working with the energy of the ascended masters, your higher self, the Christ light, the Magi, all of that, you will know that you have the strength to look beyond that abyss and that void to what we can create next, and to get into a place of excitement and creativity, basically, for 2024. So it's this thing about the dark will not win. You know, it will not win. But we have to acknowledge that it is around. We know that. But it just feels like it's very around right now. So make sure you're protected. Make sure you go into no fear mode. Make sure you go into, I love my body, I respect my body, I'm compassionate with my body, I will allow it to do whatever it needs to do, to, I'm being shown the whale, you know, the beach that beaches, that moves, that is able just to shift position. That's what your body's trying to do. because mentally you're being asked to shift position. Energetically, you are being asked to shift position with all of these portals, with all of these new vibrations coming in. Your body can become very rigid and stuck. You're being asked to shift, to move it, okay? So movement is a beautiful thing to be doing around this solstice time. Let's pull a card from the Christ Consciousness deck. And I'm also going to pull a symbol card, I think, as well. Let's see what comes out of the Christ Consciousness deck. So, Jesus, all that I've been discussing in this video, and hopefully people are resonating with. What message from you comes? Judas. The Catalyst and Soul Contract. We're back to the violet pill stuff. That's so much. And on the bottom of the pack, we have purity. The 5th candle to be lit. I will put the picture of all 5 candles lit on the Advent wreath over Christmas, or maybe even today, with all of them lit. Okay, so those of you that have been following the Advent work, this is where it's at, guys. Okay, this is the answer. This is to get into this state of purity and return to innocence. But and that's where we're heading. But not till we've faced the difficult soul contracts. The people in your life that have made it difficult. The people in your life that have challenged you. The people in your life that you wouldn't be who you are right now unless that thing had happened. That you then were able to go into forgiveness, compassion, letting go energy with. Rather than staying stuck like this Dark Queen with a cold heart, a twisted heart, a demonic heart, actually. People don't turn to energies such as Satan without having an energy of hardness and brittleness about them. If you are born from love and you experience only love in this lifetime, why would you ever turn away from it? You wouldn't. So, where's this deck of cards? I feel as though this one wants to come in as well. Psychic Tarot of the Heart. Let's pull a couple of cards here. So we have Judas, who was part of the plan, okay? It couldn't have happened without him. But this is also true of the collective, the baddies in our midst. They're serving the light, actually, because they are bringing up the horrors for us to face that not just they have been doing, but we, to a degree, have been complicit in because we've turned away. We haven't wanted to know. We haven't wanted to look at it. It's too painful. It's too dark. It's too difficult. I will just turn away. Whilst others just get on quietly with the work of whatever it is, trafficking children, abusing animals, whatever it is, okay? We don't want to know. Well, we're being faced with, it's time to know. It's time to grow up from being the child to the spiritual adult that is capable of knowing this stuff. And then not just being able to know this stuff, being able to work through it back to the energy of light, holding the light, basically. 3 cards want to come out from this deck. Let's see what they are. Okay, so I'm going to put this video up on YouTube because it's gone on to 28 minutes. Have some water. I'm going to work with that. I'm going to work with the Green Ridge crystal today over Solstice, and I'll let you know how I get on with it. Breaking through the glass ceiling is what I'm hearing Metatron saying. Well, that's what's coming up for me. What's coming up for you might be that card as well. Lead. I mean, I like to think I am, but like this is next level stuff. Base chakra, bit wobbly. I'm not sure I can. Yeah, you can. You're going to be pushed through it. You're going to be pushed through the glass ceiling. This isn't just me, it's us. We're being asked to lead. We're being asked to lead. There's so many people just waking up, not understanding any of these issues that I'm sort of discussing in this video. I know you get it. My regular followers get it, what I'm trying to say. And you've been living it, you've been breathing it, you've been walking the talk, you've been falling off the horse numerous times like I do, but you get back on it, okay? Because ultimately you're in your heart. You're in heart-centered consciousness. You are never going to become that. Whatever is done to you, whatever they try to do, You are never going to become that. Hate matched with hate creates more hate. War met with more war creates more war. This is not rocket science. What we want to be doing is matching love with love. And then, my friends, we break through the glass ceiling. Absolutely. So we have the card of lead. And those of you that watched my video on Instagram yesterday, apologies for my voice, guys, but I do want to get this message out. And then I promise you I will rest like a good girl. I'm going to rest. I'm going to go and flop on the sofa and watch lots of Christmas films. But I was talking about the Magi, okay? And I was talking about the gold that they were wearing, gold and purple. Now, I know this guy isn't meant to be the Magi, but in many ways he's wearing the colours of it. A leader who understands the significance of the seasons. Think about Solstice. The rhythms, the stars, the signs, basically, and who leads. It's definitely a storm whipping up outside. Okay, what else? 2 more cards, please. Metatron. Anything else that I need to say in this video? Love abounds. Love doesn't abound in enough people right now. That's why we're in the mess we're in our world. Not enough people are leading from their heart. Not enough people are being led by their heart consciousness. And why? Because of this lovely energy. It's not a lovely energy, but the energy of control. Now, there's 2 ways to think about this. I mean, it feels very Big Brother with those eyes looking down on you, okay? Big Brother watching what you are doing. You can't do this, you can't do that. You're not free. You think you're free, you're not free, okay? Well, remember, freedom is a state of mind, okay? Freedom is always a state of mind. No, very few people can control me, okay? Because I refuse to be controlled. Of course, I have to play by the parameters of decent society. I'm not going to go out and kill anybody or steal anything or, that type of thing. But ultimately, you can't control me. And when you can't control somebody, that is very much liberation and freedom. It's one of the reasons I turned down quite a big contract this year with somebody that could have taken me quite high. I might repivot and come back to it, but part of the reason why I turned them down was because I like being my own person and being able to speak my mind. Those of you that follow me know that I do that, and I will do it even if people don't like it. I will do it for the most controversial subjects. I will have an opinion because I won't be bound by a contract that says you can't talk about certain things. Okay, so ask yourself this solstice, where am I allowing myself to be controlled? Think back to Michael Bublé. He's a perfect example. I'm so glad I brought his energy in, because what he's saying to his management company is, I'm not going to be controlled. I'm going to do it my way. And okay, he's earned the right to be able to do that because he's successful and they're just grateful for anything they can get from him. But he worked blinking hard for years to get to that place. The Saturn energy of dedication and commitment. Okay, Justin Bieber would be another example. I've bought my daughter a lovely, she's in the room next door, purple official merch Bieber hoodie. Oh, it's great. Now, she might not like it. It might be too in your face, but I mean, she loves him, so she probably will take it and just wear it around the house. But if not, I'm going to have it. But the point is, he's another example. He absolutely will have been controlled by the music industry, no doubt about that. From a young age, of course, they were controlling him. He broke free. How did he break free? One of the things was he found the energy of Jesus. It doesn't have to be Jesus. We don't have to do a Doreen Virtue fundamentalist turnaround. It's not what I'm saying he's doing either. It doesn't have to be that. But he found a belief in something, a higher power. And he will not be controlled. He will do it on his terms. He will postpone and cancel a tour. Can I just go and see who's at the door? And then we'll come back for 5 minutes. If you're leaving me here, that's fine. I will see you again, but let's just go and see what Bella's barking at. I can't pause it because you're on iPad. Okay, bye. Is someone there, so? No? Oh, okay. It's just Bella, was it? Okay. No one was there. It was just Bella. I'm hearing the phrase, Bella's adding to this energy, wag the dog, or wag the tail or something. What's that expression? You're not going to tell me to wag my tail and sit like a, for a little bit of praise or a little bit of, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to be controlled. I'm going to do it on my terms. Definitely the energy of somebody like Justin or Michael. And we need more of those type of people, okay? I like to think I embody it as well. And I'm encouraging you to embody it. Don't sell your soul, basically. That's what I'm really trying to say. Don't sell your soul for adulation and success at the expense of your heart. But I really need to say that. I want to say that. I believe in something. I need to say it even if it's not popular. That type of thing. Okay. So we've got our 4 cards there. Yes. And I will just bring this one in lastly from the Christ deck because it's a very perfect illustration of what I'm just saying. Stand up. Bob Marley. Stand up for your rights. Yeah, man. It's just like I feel the Bob energy. Stand up for your rights. Stand up for your rights. You're not going to control me. I can't be controlled. I'm sovereign. I'm sovereign. And I'll tell you another reason why you can't control me. And this is very true in the pandemic as well. I don't actually fear death. I don't particularly want a horrible, drawn-out death, but I don't fear death because I just know it's a passageway. I know I've been here God knows how many times, and whether I come back or not, I don't know. But, I'll decide that when I'm the other side of the veil again. I don't fear it. I remember times when I was in Egypt. I remember times when I was in Atlantis. I was going to say I remember times when I met Anubis. Maybe I did. I don't know. But I don't fear it. So if you don't fear the big things, you can't be controlled. You can't. So, but they can try. Going back to, can you hear how my voice has improved as I've been talking? Yeah, because what I've been doing energetically in this video is, we started the video, I was talking about what I felt in the room last night. There was a fear response initially, but I knew how to counter it. Okay, I knew how to counter it. I knew I just needed to imagine myself in nature. I needed to call in Jesus. I just needed to remember the tools that I use every day. No, not a biggie. And as soon as that happens, it's just like, oh, she's not going to play. She's not going to play with us. She's not going to cooperate. She's not going to obey. She's not going to fall at our feet, paralyzed by fear. Oh, we'll go and find somebody else. But I don't want it to find somebody else. Okay? I want us to be able to stand up to the darkness. This is what this card is all about. Stand up to the darkness. Stand up, and it says steadfast vision. And the whole point of this card is that if enough of us do it, light wins. Look at that candle. Look how dark that sky is. Look how dark it is. It's that black, velvety richness that I was talking about, the void. But it's from that place that we're actually able to say, no, light wins. You can't buy me. We are free. And that might be the biggest gift you give yourself this Christmas time. It's the biggest gift we can give to the world. Share the love and clarity of belief that I believe in love, I believe in the light, I believe in myself, I believe in you, and I give no truck to that. No truck to that. I respect it though. I respect its power. But I'm more powerful. My light is more powerful. Your light is more powerful. Love is more powerful. Okay, I'm going to leave it there because I've promised you and I've promised myself I'm now going to go and rest. So I'm going to go and do that. But it was important I got that message out today. Lots of love, take care, and I'll see you all very soon. Bye-bye for now. Bye.